Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the deck Durdle. I'm going to dive in a moment and do the next sealed build in this series. And this week's sealed build is going to be 3 packs of Mirage and 3 packs of Visions. If you want to know the sort of rationale and background behind this whole series, then I suggest you watch episode 1 where there's an explanation. So let's get in, and before we generate those packs, let's just have a quick look and reacquaint ourselves with the 2 sets that we're going to be doing here. So we've got Mirage, so we're doing 3 packs from that, and we have flanking and phasing in here apparently. If we scroll down, we'll see there's a number of cycles. We've got charms, diamonds, dragons, enemy colour hoses. There's a cycle of guild mages, those instruments which you've seen in previous episodes, multicoloured hoses, allied coloured expels, fetch lands. There's a mega cycle which turns up in this set, atogs, and also a mega cycle of legendary lands. A couple of pairs. And then if we move on to the set that we're using as well in here in this sealed pool, so our other 3 packs of Visions, cumulative upkeep was a thing, flanking, phasing. Not so many cycles in this set. There's more charms, colour hoser enchantments. The Karoo lands are in Visions, opposing colour rares. We've got a cycle of chimeras. Those were 2/2 artifact creatures costing 4, and also the Atog mega cycle, or mega cycle. Necrotiles in this set as well, and you can see a number of notable cards. We've got Vampiric Tutor in Visions. Obviously, with the fact we're building a sealed pool with just 3 packs of this and 3 packs of Mirage, you know, our probabilities of pulling some of the higher rarities, the higher rarity cards in Visions, is going to be lower because we've only got 3 packs. So let's go in, generate our pack. So here's our 3 packs of Mirage first. We'll organise this by rarity. So we do have a grinning totem, and there's a legend there. One thing there's a cursed totem as well. One thing I may not have mentioned in the other videos, we're dealing with early magic sets here, and you'll notice that there's no basic land slot. So as a consequence, you have 1 rare, 3 uncommons. We're used to seeing that. But you have 1 more common. So instead of 10 commons, you have 11. So if you're drafting, or if you're doing a sealed deck build where you've got 6 of one particular set, then you basically end up with 6 more commons than you would in, say, a modern set where there's a basic land slot. So let me export this to Frogtown, because I need to just copy paste these. As you've seen in previous videos, there's a little bit of processing goes on here. We just got to change the brackets on these in a moment, but I do need to go back because what I need to do is get my 3 packs of Visions for this build. Still using MTGen here, and that's going to be consistent through the videos as a way of generating boosters. We just need to dial this down to 3. Okay, we will Hammerville of Bagarden is our first rare in that pack. Griffin Canyon There was a griffin theme across the block as a whole. And lightning clouds in here. Okay. Let's export. Oops. Make sure we do that. For those of you who this is the first video you've watched of the series, the reason why I'm doing this now is it allows me to bring it straight into MTG Deck Builder, the Architect online tool I'm using, without having to go in and swap out the artwork. It recognizes this set designation. There we have it. So now all I've got to do, just grab these. I'm not going to save this in Notepad anyway. We're in here, we're ready to go. I've got my name of the deck, which is really a card pool, custom deck format, so I don't get any errors. It's in my card pool folder. Create the deck, bring it in here. And let's see if we have any problems. Namely, when you get a problem here, it's because of naming issues. The odd legend, you might need to put a comma in. There we go. So when you're dragging and dropping these in this particular tool, actually one thing I'll do is save this first so I don't lose it. The best view for that is custom. If you move it out of custom mode, you can't find that you can drag, you won't be able to drag these into like the sideboard. So when you click on here, you can see it's got sideboard, maybe board. So when we're doing our initial sorting, it's really useful to have it in this mode. I'm also going to just try and see if it's going to let me sort by color within the columns. Sometimes I have more success than others. It's grouping them correctly in the columns. It's just what I believe it does is orders the color names alphabetically, not by Wooberg. So I'm going to have a look at the land first. So we have a Griffin Canyon. Add one colourless mana to your mana pool. Untap target Griffin. That Griffin gets +1/+1. We'll see if we've got many Griffins in here. I'm not sure if that's going to be a thing. We have Bad River, which comes into play tapped. And then you can tap it, sacrifice it, search for a library for an island or swamp card, put that land into play and shuffle your library. And then Jungle Basin. So this is part of the cruise cycle. So it comes into play tapped, and you also have to bounce a land, a forest in this case, back to your hand. But when all is said and done, and this untaps, you can then start tapping it for green and colourless mana. I'm just going to quickly eyeball the creatures here. We have one Griffin, okay, leave it there for the moment. I think I'm going to look through the instance, and what I'll start doing is I will pull out the stuff that I don't think I want to play, and that will go into my into my sideboard once I drag this, and then once I've gone down and taken out the stuff I don't want to play, then I'm going to start working out what colours I do want to play, and then I will drag all the colours I don't want to play into my maybe board. What tends to happen here, if you've not seen these videos before, is I'll be drawn towards a couple of colours initially, and then once I've looked at that, I'll then start looking at alternate builds and see whether they pan out. So we've got Soul Shriek. Target creature you control gets star +0 until end of turn, where star is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Yeah, there was a graveyard theme that did get stronger in the smaller sets, in the later sets of this block. And so you're going to see here there may be a blue-black build. Okay, so we do have Dark Banishing, so we've got instant speed removal. Here's one of our charms. There's a modal spell, so target artifact phases out, or put the top 4 cards from target player's library into his or her graveyard, or all lands of one type are basic lands of your choice until end of turn. So that could seriously mess with an opponent. And if you've got cards that allow you to steal stuff from opponent's graveyard, you could leverage that. So you've got a counter spell which bounces to the top of the owner's library. Tap or untap a target artifact, creature or land. Draw a card. It's got a cantrip attached to tap down or untap. Card draw. Library, top of a library manipulation. Boomerangs, another bounce spell there. Just bounced off of that. So things are looking interesting just in terms of spells there in blue-black. So anything like this, fog effects, or anything that destroys like a local enchantment. It was an enchantment-heavy block. There were those inst enchantments that you can either play at instant speed or as a permanent, as an enchantment. So I'm going to keep my eyes out for those, but for the moment, anything like that, any fog effects, life gain, is going to just get sideboarded. To help me a little bit here as well, I'm going to just reduce down the zoom level a little bit. So I can drag these around a little bit easier. Let's just sideboard. Okay, Rock Slide deals X damage, divided any way you choose. Okay, yeah, like those. We've got Incinerate. We've got 2 copies of Incinerate. Okay. So, based on our removal, it would be interesting to play red-black already. Just that's where I'm sort of getting pulled towards. But yeah, let's see how we do with creatures here and enchantments. Okay, so we've got another charm, red charm. So we've got both charms from each of the sets in red. This one gives haste, or 1 damage, or destroys a target wall. I don't know how much walls are a thing in the set. Blind Fury, all creatures lose trample until end of turn. Okay. Double all combat damage assigned to creatures. Ooh. Just got a reminder there to update my machine. Okay, this is looking very interesting. Huh. So we've got some interesting removal here generally across 4 out of the 5 colours. That's very cool. Let's look at the sorceries and just see what else we've got here. Let's go into that one a moment. It should come up a little larger. Return X swamps you control to owner's hand. Infernal Harvest does X damage divided any way you choose among any number of target creatures. And we have 3 of those. Okay. It might be red, black is... Oh crap, look at this. We've got card drawing blue. More card drawing blue. Sealed Fate. Look at the top X cards of target opponent's library. Remove one of those cards from the game and put the rest back on top of the player's library in any order. And then Tremor. Okay. Right, let's have a look at artifacts. Each player skips his or her discard phase. During each player's draw phase, that player draws an additional card and then chooses and discards a card. That's a lot of card draw. Control gains flying and is tough. It's by 1 until end of turn. There's some cool stuff in this pool. Players cannot play an creature ability. Activation cost. No, you have to be so careful with these because if you're building like a lockdown deck, which I'm not super good at, these are ideal. This is a good card. Scissoring. Okay, so we've got colourless mana. There's enchantments here. At the end of each turn, each player tap. Land. No, I don't want to go for so lockdown. Okay, Dark Privilege. So this is just a straight enchantment. For each 1 damage to enchanted creature, is 1 damage to that creature's controller. Yeah. Think about that one. Enchanted creature phases out. Okay. Mystic Veil. You choose to play Mystic Veil as an instant. Here we go. If you do bear at the end of turn, enchanted creature cannot be the target spells or abilities, so that gives it Shroud. Enchanted creature gains phasing and cannot be blocked by walls. I'm just seeing here some of the weaker removal. You can do some clever things with phasing. Like it's really useful in, say, a deck where you've got mass removal across the board, so you can actually phase your own creatures out. If you can do that on mass and then play the removal spell, so it gets rid of all your opponent's stuff and then your stuff phases back in and you're good to go. Play only a creature an opponent controls. If enchanted creature becomes tapped, draw a card. No, I'm not really into lock. There's some interesting stuff in here though for that. Spider. Okay. Mortal wound. Johnny could destroy it. So there's this weird sort of roundabout removal in green. Mob mentality. Enchanted creature gains trample. If all non-wall creatures you control attack, enchanted creature gets +0 till end of turn, where star is equal to the number of attacking creatures. Okay, lightning reflexes, instant enchantment. So we've got a combat trick here if you play it as an instant. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike. Lightning cloud. 1 damage to target creature or player. Uses ability only when a red spell is successfully cast and only once for each turn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to go heavy red, so I'm going to put that in the sideboard for the moment. It's basically a pinger, but with restrictions. Interesting. It's fire breathing there. You see that often attached to dragons and other creatures. It's already stapled onto a creature. This is you know, play the creature and then attach it. Again, I'm going to just check and see what else I'm pulled towards. Upkeep. Oh, I think you know I hate cumulative upkeep. Interesting card. It's like a targeted fog effect. Yeah. Damage creature of a chosen colour deals to you white creature. I'm going to take that out. I'm sort of going a certain way already. I know I haven't looked at the creatures yet, but I am thinking about removing for the moment green and white from this build and doing something in black, blue or red, combinations thereof. Island or swamp. Blue, black could be a thing. Okay, what do we got? A Topi Golem, played in any deck. Crystal Golem. It phases out. 3/3 for 4 with phasing. No, thank you. Skulking Ghost. Yeah, if it's targeted with any spell or effect, it's gone. It does have flying. It's a 2/1 for 2. Oops. Reborn Zombie comes back from the dead. Well, comes back to the library anyway. Fetid Horror. Okay. That's interesting. So, yeah, if you've got spare black, that's good. Feral Shadow. Some good black creatures here, actually. Oh, yeah. I think black's going to be a thing. What we got in blue? Flying. So we have to bounce an island. 4/4 for 4 with flying. A late game. There's a number of drakes, I think, spread across the block. Comes into play. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand. If you're going to do leverage that, you want stuff that's going to, when you recast it, has some sort of into the battlefield effect. Interesting. It's a mana dork in blue. Card draw. Stapled to merfolks here. but only when he gets put into graveyard. Otherwise it's a 2/2 for 3, 2/2 for 2 and a blue. Knight of the Mist with flanking. Cloud Elemental's in here, but it only can block creatures flying. That's a 2/3 for 3. Okay, I'm liking blue-black here. It looks like if I go down that route, I'm not necessarily being heavily drawn into doing graveyard shenanigans. So green, your Tarpy Fairy. We actually have flying. 1/1 for 2. Destroys target artifact. Stamping Wildebeests. You can see there's a reoccurring theme going on here as well, with certain creatures seem to require you to bounce stuff back to your hand. So we've got a 5/4 for 2 and 2 green with trample, but we have to bounce green creature back. Again, that will be really good if the set stroke block has stuff with ETB on it. I'm not sure there. I think Necrotol, doesn't that when it enters the battlefield destroys a creature? I think that's right, which we don't have, of course. We got the poison was in this set, so we got a Saber-tooth Cobra, 2/2 for 3. And it's cumulative poison as well, unless the person with the poison counter pays 2. That's pretty cool. I'm not probably going to play green. Got Bull Elephant. Yeah, see another one bounce on it. When it comes into play, say 4/4 for 4. Ishno Sandstalker is unaffected by summoning sickness. But end of turn, you have to bounce it back to hand. First strike, whenever Delirium Champion blocks or is blocked by any creature, that creature loses first strike. Raging Spirit. Colourless until end of turn. That's to prevent colour hosing, which was a thing in the set, in the block, in the block. Blocks is blocked, gets 2/2. Keeper of Cuckoos, protection for red until end of turn. That's handy against so instant speed, protection against red removal, or you know, anything that if it blocks. Blocks a red card. Red creature, sorry. Dwarven Vigilantes. If Dwarven Vigilantes attacks and is not blocked, you may choose to have it deal no combat damage this turn. If you do, Dwarven Vigilantes deals an amount of damage equal to its power. Yeah, there was this sort of alternate damage, alternate effect where you could opt, if something wasn't blocked, to do something. I think it was Ophidians in the block that has a similar sort of concept but with a different effect. Crimson Rock with flying. Okay, so we've got Burning Shield at Skari. I seem to remember this was cool with flanking. Oh, here we go. Sidar Jabari with flanking. Knight of Valor with flanking. Fernoff Knight with flanking. And we've got our Griffin. Okay. Wow. We've got some choices here actually. Ooh. So I'm just checking. Okay, so red white flanking is not really a thing. Just trying to think how much this draws me towards playing white. Yeah, let's just pull all the white and green and just see where we end up. Okay, so this is going to go into my maybe board. Warning, this could be a long video. Yeah, I'm going to pull this because if I'm not playing white, I'm not playing any griffins. For the purposes of sorting here, I'm just going to reduce the zoom a bit. I'll bring this back up. What did I say? Maybe board. So while I'm just sorting this is where my mind's going with this. I seem to be drawn or want to play red, black. Blue, black could be a thing. I'm noticing I've got some fairly strong blue flyers in here. The way I was sort of looking at white is I noticed that we've got, you know, some flanking in there and a few other things. It's weird, it's not letting me. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so it's this is an interesting card pool because there's so many avenues here. We've got a lot of choices. There's a lot of like those modal charms are very useful. You know, they give you a lot of choices in terms of options at instant speed, which is really useful. And you can see why modal spells are you know, popular in formats like Commander, because it leaves you pretty open. Okay, so what do you reckon? Well, let's cut, I tell you what, let's cut blue and just see where we end up. We've got two incinerates here. What blue is giving us is basically card draw that's been stapled and evasion. Some of those do have some, what's the word I'm looking for, caveats on them. Going to see whether I need to generate a lot of colourless mana. I don't know if I really want to play 2 Sissy's rings. I'm going to just take that out for the moment and put it in the over here in this maybe board. Grinning Totem, that's a cool card. Do you have toughness reduced to 1? I'm going to see whether we've got any high power cards that might work well with. Each player skips his or her discard phase. So additional card and then chooses and discards a card. See, everybody gets to benefit from this. What I need to be doing is playing stuff where I empty the opponent's hand. So this would work in a blue-black build, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna just take that out. Right, let's start removing this blue stuff. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so let's go blue-red. Not blue-red. Let's go black, red, and see where that takes us. I'll sort it by colour in a moment. Not colour, CMC. We'll see what the blue black build looks like. It's always interesting. I know we did that. I think we did a blue black build in either the last or the previous video. We've still got tons of stuff here. Yeah, blue is looking pretty strong in certain cards actually. Okay, so we need to thin this out because obviously we just need 24 to 22, you know, spells. That's creature and non-creature spells. Seeing as we're not playing blue, we can't play that. There may well be, and I'm not going to try and build it, there may be like a blue, red, black good stuff deck here. Okay, and the land, I must remember that I've got one land in here, so just remember today I've got number of, wow, we got Infernal Harvest. That could get super interesting. I don't really have enough stuff to do a mono black build here. So once you control your owner's hand, Infernal Harvest to 6. Target creatures. Okay, so yeah, I can't really do direct damage, so I don't really want multiple copies of that. It's not really a win con. It is removal. So I might want to just play a one-off. So yeah, let me whittle that down a bit. Dark Privilege. I'm deliberately not cutting any creatures yet. So yeah, I don't know if I want to 2/4 myself. For any card. Okay, you know, I want Grinnim Totem in the deck. Do I want Tremor? We'll see. Dark Privilege. +1/+1. Can I play that at instant speed? No, I can't. Yeah, that's coming out. That's interesting. You get creative with that. If all non-wall creatures you control attack child creatures. Okay. Okay. 34. I've got to cut quite a few cards here. Right. Yeah, I'm not trying to play around. This would probably work better in, yeah, where I'd got stuff that was filling my graveyard. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I want to keep Dark Banishing, Rock Slide, Incinerate. Right, these. Destroy target attacking creatures. Yeah, I've got other stuff that'll do this. Do all this turn. How's that different from... Let me just run. I don't really want to run two of these. Yeah. Take that out. All creatures use trample until end of turn. Double all combat damage assigned to creatures this turn. Tricky one to pull off. Okay. Start making some more cuts here. Okay. Fire breathing is so useful. Yeah, let me take that out. Yeah. I'm trying to keep things that have either flexibility or have a big enough effect that I'm not just 2-for-1ing stuff. Yeah, I'm going to take Tremor out because it might work against me. Okay. Flyers. Some red-black aggro going on here. Yeah, I definitely want to look at the blue-black build. Okay. Island or swamp, actually, that doesn't really work either. Okay, so that's not even, I don't even have to worry about that. So, here we go, we've got to start cutting stuff. I'm going to sideboard that. So I know what my opponent's playing. Don't know if I want to play 2 Skulking Ghosts. But before I decide anything, let's save it and sort by CMC. Boom. Not a 3 drops, 1 drops. If I got any 1-drop creatures that don't really work. It's always a bit tricky, 1/1 for 1. What's this? No, I'm going to take that out. Remove him. Take out that 1-1. Where is it gone? Okay, 23. Yeah, this, I'm happy with this. There's some interesting interactions going on here as well. You could do some clever stuff, but again, probabilities might be against us. Yeah, there's a number of pump spells I could use to leverage this stuff. Yeah, no, that's not too shabby. So, I'm going to add in land now, not because of the artwork, because I want to run the play test, but I am obviously going to change it so it looks right, because, you know, you want to do that, you don't want it looking wrong. So let's do swamp, and then what we'll do a few test draws, and then we'll have a look at the blue-black build, I think. I'm not sure if blue-red might be a thing or not in this deck. It's difficult to know sometimes. With blue-red is not a nice thing to pull off, like with counterburns type stuff, if you can do it correctly. I don't really have enough burn spells, that's the trouble. There was some interesting counter and bounce in blue that was going on. Oh yeah. We'll do that one. Okay, so let me just have a quick look at the stats, remembering to save this. It's 16 to 8, okay. So 16 red to 8 black. And we need to play 17 land. So strictly speaking, what should that be? If I did 11 to 6. But I don't know about that. There is some, let me try, let's just try 10 to 7 and see what it looks like. So we want this 10. Multi-card deck. Boom. Playtest. I did save it. That's better. So you can see it a bit clearer. Okay. So we got a turn 2 Skulking Ghost, and I'll do my normal thing where we'll just have a look. So we got a mountain, a raging gorilla. So with even without these, we've got turn 2, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Yeah. And also, that's a turn 3 once we've drawn it. And then draw them vigilantes. As we get later into the game, let's see what sort of things we've got in terms of finishing. Okay, so we've got a feral shadow cropping up, which doesn't really help us. Rock slide. So by then we'd have quite a bit of mana, but it's only playable on creatures. Okay, so how many, by the time the Fetid Horror comes out, we can play it, how many potentially swamps will we have in play? 4. So that would make that a 5, 6, yeah. Okay, let's try another hand draw. Okay, where are we going here? So we can't play that anyway. Okay. So at the moment on this hand, nothing till turn 3. Okay, that gives us a little bit of flexibility. There's our Fetid Horror again. But we don't have any more swamps. Let's see how long before Skulking Ghost. Yeah, this could be problematic. And it's the first time we've seen an Incinerate as well. And we've putting out quite a few here. Let's have one more hand. So turn 2 Skulking Ghost, but we don't have the second swamp yet. Let's see whether we draw it. No. So that wouldn't happen. Oh no. Yeah, sorry. No, we are good. Okay, so we are good already. So that will be a thing. Health Charm. The Incinerate. That would be timely at that point. Infernal Harvest. Yeah, that's not really going to work. I might want to pull that if I was doing a final build and put a different utility in. I don't think that's going to really be a thing. I'm not playing enough black. I'd sort of realised that, but I just wanted to see what the draws look like. So I'm trying to remember what I pulled out in black. I think I pulled a second Skulking Ghost. Plus there may be another instant speed red that I could put back in, like a pump spell. I think there was some stuff I took out. So that's interesting. That's the red-black build, or the black-red build, depending on how you think about it. If you're going by Wooberg. Cool. Okay. So we'll just go back. So I think you probably want me to do the blue yeah, the blue black build. So because I'm not really going to look at anything in red, I don't think, I'm going to quickly get rid of these. I mean, I suppose I could do blue, was it blue, black, red, good stuff, but no, let's keep it fairly simple. You know, you can go on for a long time with all these different builds. There was definitely a lot of interesting stuff going on here. There was some stuff in white that we could have played around with. I don't know if there was enough to do like a red-white flanking build or not. And you know, that's a lot of the problems with this sort of stuff, is like, where do you draw the line in terms of the number of builds. So oops, I really want to do that by colour actually. Okay. So here's all my blue. See if I can manage to do this a bit of a better way. So, creature. Oh, hang on, that's not working. Yeah, that sometimes I will have to drag and drop this. Okay. Just gonna put them all over here and then I'll worry about it in a moment. Yeah, we've got a lot of blue to play around with here actually. Oops. Binding agony back in. Okay. So obviously this doesn't really belong here. So we got card draw, bounce. Keep that. What do we got here? 43. Okay, so this is gonna take some pretty heavy cropping here. So got a bounce spell, counter target spell, put that spell, yeah, more bounce. Add 1 colourless mana to your mana pool, use this ability. 1/1 mana dork. That adds colourless mana. Ah, no. Cloud elemental only blocks creature with flying. Tap or untap another creature. Yes, sideboard that. Flanking. Yeah. To play blue or bury target knight. Okay, that's fine. Water spout. During your upkeep, return an untapped island you control to owner's hand. Yeah, draw a card. Use. Yeah, no. Inspiration. Okay, cool. Dream cash. Draw 3 cards. Yep. Yep. Target spells or abilities. So we've got evasion. Library. No. Wow. Oh, that's why it's so high. My mistake. Let me get rid of this and get rid of all except one. Okay. Oh, so we are good actually. Yeah, okay, my mistake. So we could bring one back. What's that? Cloaker's invisibility. Child creatures gains phasing. Decisions. I do want that bad river back in. Oh, all the sealed fate, hang on. What does that vision charm do? One type or basic lands of your choice. Yeah, okay. It's an interesting modal spell. Okay, so let me just have a quick look at the stats breakdown. So blue 16, black 9, okay. Looks like boring old 10 to 7 again with 7 black, 10 blue. So we'll buff this up. Oops. Add islands. Okay, so we've got 40 cards. Let's have a look at the mana curve actually, even though this, and again be careful here because I've merged these all in together just for the convenience of dragging them around. So that's not really our creature count. If we look here, you can see we've only got 11 creatures. It's actually quite a high. There's a lot of 2-drops, so it looks like, judging by the cards we've seen, there's could potentially be quite a lot of card draw going on here, obviously, which is going to work to our advantage. Let me have a quick look. There's not a lot I can do to fix this either because we don't have any other creatures in blue or black that are really playable. It's an interesting deck though. So let's do a play test on this, and then after this one I think I'll call it a call a stop to the proceedings. Reborn zombie. So where are we? Skulking Ghost, 2-drop. Okay, for each 1 damage dealt to recognizing an enchanted creature, binding damage is 1 damage to the creature's controller. Okay. That's actually not too shabby. I've got a boomerang, double blue. I could play that because we've already got 2 islands, another island, and a vision charm. Okay, so we have a lot of utility in this deck. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of creatures. I'm not sure how well this deck is going to play. So 2-drop counter spell, 4-drop card draw, and a 4-drop Graveborn zombie. Going to swamp, which now is good in terms of land. Prosperity. Okay. Wow. Everybody gets card draw. And a dark banishing. So this is definitely, you know, we got a lot of control going on here. So this is like a blue-black control type build. Not brilliant. I think the red-black would probably be the stronger. As I've said, there may well have been something in like a 3-color, I don't know, you know, I mean, stuff we haven't looked at so far, which would have been, because I already mentioned about, you know, blue, black, red, that sort of good stuff. But there may have well been a build in like red, black, white, like a flanking build. Or white, blue, red, maybe 3-color. I always find it really tricky with 3 colors in sealed. I find with 3 colors personally, and you know, this is not, you know, necessarily 100% right. I always find 3 colors are good when you've got, say, you've got really strong creatures in 2 of the colors, or really strong cards in 2 of the colors, and then like a splashable removal, and that's why you're playing the 3rd color. I find it tricky when you're playing 3 colors because you've got, you know, 2 really strong colors, and then maybe your bomb is in the 3rd color, particularly if it's got tricky casting costs. That can be a bit more difficult to pull off. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. This was a, what was it, Mirage Visions build. And thanks for watching. Bye for now, and stay tuned for the next video in the series, which will be Mirage Weatherlight, and then after that I'm going to do Visions and Weatherlight, just to be different. It's not a build you definitely see, or probably wouldn't see, and then 2 each of Mirage, Visions and Weatherlight. So thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.